So they purchase the homes through the Land Reutilization Authority, or LRA, oftentimes for less than $5,000, and they make a commitment to rehab the house within a certain number of months. They're raising money as they're going along to rehab the house. They bring the kids in to do a demo, of course, with the supervision of contractors, of licensed contractors, but they bring in the kids to do demo and teach them all of the things about putting it back together.
I mean, they were receiving some funds, $9 an hour as they were working on the project, but that was just small compared to the reward at the end of getting those scholarship funds. The students are going to receive over $1,000 from just the equity in the home that they built up from their hard work. So that's what Dream Builders is really built on, is giving those students the opportunity to earn money, to take care of their personal needs, to get exposure to mentors and tutors to help them with the educational needs, and then show them the value of investing in their future through the real estate and through the scholarship program.
Neil and I actually met at church. So Neil used to sit far in the back to the right at the church. And I used to sit far in the back to the left at the church. And at the time we were 17, 18-year-old kids. We would see each other, but we would never speak. But at some point I'm like, hey, you know what? I gotta talk to this guy. Why is he coming here? Like, what is his motivation? And we both were just like-minded individuals who really seen that we needed something more than just ourselves to get to the next level. And we actually kind of built the bond based on that, just knowing that, hey, look, we know what we need. We know that we have great abilities inside of us, and we just got to tap into it.
It's very well known that the Delmore Divide in St. Louis separates the haves and the have-nots, really. On the north side of Delmore, the average household income is $22,000. My parents still live in the Lewis Place neighborhood on Newberry, the same house that I grew up in. They've been in that house for over 33 years now. And you know, they are deeply committed to their community, and they don't plan to ever leave.
Yeah, so growing up, I was a very competitive kid. I played a lot of basketball. That was really my life. In the beginning of my childhood, it was just basketball, AAU basketball. So as I got older, I started to see a lot of different things, and especially with the basketball, being able to travel and playing with different people, it gave me that opportunity to see that this is a way bigger world than just those 4 or 5 blocks that I would play around in.
I actually went to high school at Lafayette High School, where I was part of the DSEG program, where we were bused out to other areas of St. Louis that had, you know, more adequate education because they had greater resources. And seeing the families and seeing the lifestyle of the families that are living in those communities are very different. I felt imperative for me to come back and give opportunities and exposure and share my knowledge that I've gained throughout my life to uplift that community.
The neighborhood was horrible. He used to walk outside in the morning and find needles on the sidewalk, on the curb of the street where we park our cars.
I remember growing up hearing gunshots, and we just hit the floor because we didn't know if a bullet was gonna come through the window.
A lot of people that I've talked to that I have seen that was when I was younger or whatever, now they're either on drugs now or they dead.
And I think my mom created an environment in our backyard so I wouldn't have to be out in the streets.
When it came to our house, okay, that was like a safe haven. You can be Neil's friend, you can come over, you can shoot hoops. You can't come in my yard fussing, cussing, arguing.
After a while, he realized and he started seeing some of his friends at 12 and 14 getting arrested and doing drugs. That's why we want you here, and we know where you are at night, at 10 o'clock at night.
And that's what I learned throughout my life, through my mom, is respect. How to respect others, and then also have respect for myself. No matter what I did, no matter what I said, you always loved me. And it meant the world to me, and it gave me confidence to go out and be who I was supposed to be in this world and give love to others.
Amen.
So,
Just keep
yeah.
God first.
Cool. So this is actually the first Dream Builders right here. When I was a kid, I used to come here. Probably at the age of 10, I got to work. Even working on the properties or also the cars as well. But he was getting me started very young.
Well, I always just know that he could accomplish anything he set forth to do because we always strive to succeed. Because whatever it was, if you put God in it, you're a winner. And we always did.
Over the years, from high school to now, we probably did about 15 properties together. I'm literally saying the exact same things that my father said to me, so it's kind of an easy process. 2005 was probably my best year of schooling. I think I had straight A's and a B, maybe like a 3.7 GPA. I think you still have the plaque at the house. And then also that was the year that I won state in basketball. The day after I won state, I remember coming into school and the principal telling me that he wanted to see me in his office. So I'm assuming that I'm about to get like a trophy, a medal, a man of the year, some type of award. But at the end of the day, when I walk into the office with the principal, I see 2 narcotics detectives and a police officer. But they told me that they were gonna not only expel me from school, but I wasn't gonna be able to go to no more schools in the state. So from there, I ended up going to live with my sister in Chicago. I had to go to an alternative school. That school told me that I needed to be there for an entire year before I can graduate. I did every single piece of assignment with for them, 12 months worth of work. I did it in 3 weeks. So I turned around from that situation, was able to graduate college, published 4 books. I owned 4 properties at the time, and I believe a lot of that came from me understanding and knowing that it's not over. It's never over. No matter how bad it looks, no matter how dark it seems, you can always make a change. I jotted everything that I was going through every day, all the challenges, all the situations. I would just write them down, capture them on paper. Then I compiled it and made it into my first book.
I gravitated to the gangs, I gravitated to the drug dealing and those sorts of things. And I didn't understand at that time the consequences that came along with the ignorance. So for that reason, I had to go away and spend 10 years in federal prison. Through that time, I reflected greatly on, had I just done what Mom told me to do, I wouldn't be in this position. So for me to give back is somewhat of a personal and conscious thing between me and God, where I just have to right my wrong.
I know that you can do bad things and just not be aware. It's never bad people. It's always like misguided ambition. So when we're able to say, hey, we're gonna employ you, we're gonna not only employ you, but we're gonna make you bosses, we're gonna give you ownership in properties, we're gonna make you own your book, own your story, and we're gonna teach you ways that you can generate as much money as you want. That's giving them an avenue. If you don't have that avenue, you won't know. You're just gonna do whatever you see within the 4-block radius.
My name is Dominic Brown. I attend Lincoln University in Missouri, studying computer science, minoring in business administration. Actually, last summer was my first summer, and it was the best summer of my life because I really made a connection with my coworkers and my instructors, and I really enjoyed learning new things that I knew that I wasn't gonna learn if I didn't join this program. But now I know the value of education. You learn something new every day. Just the knowledge really drove me. I know how to measure wall. I know to do wall measurements now. I know how to do drywall, put in flooring. Everything was new to me.
I know when he's got stinking thinking going on. I know when he's feeling empowered, optimistic. I know all his different moods. And he got so much out of the program. It's a blessing. I'm so grateful to be a part of it. I'm forever indebted. I really am, because they gave him something that I couldn't give him.
I grew up without a father, and they were father figures to me, so I'm grateful for that. I'm close to everybody, all my coworkers that I started working here with. We love each other as coworkers.
My name is Josiah Dotson Brooks and I'm 18 years old. I decided I wanted to be a part of it because I'm always looking to try something new. It was new for me because I've never had a job. This was my first job. I mean, I get a lot of work done. When I come, I do what I got to do. We went to a big law firm, and, you know, we was interviewed.
He brought the kids to my office to meet me and to see what I did. A lot of them had never met a black woman in such a high position before, and so some of the young girls and I really got along really well and just really bonded really quickly. And I'm a single mom, so that is also, a bonding point for us as well, because a lot of them come from single parent homes.
Once the program is over, I'm going to try to get my real estate license. You got to be open to new experiences. Like, don't come thinking everything going to be easy and you ain't going to have to do nothing. You just here for the money.
And the last young man who is here is Kyrie Morgan. The beauty of Kyrie, and this is what Mike said when he called and asked about Kyrie, he told me that Kyrie is a leader. And that's what Kyrie is in every ounce of the word leadership. And our goal is to make sure that we help Kyrie to channel that leadership into the right direction.
I would describe myself as naive. My older brother, he just passed away in January, right before his birthday. In February, he was shot and killed. So that also pushed me to want to do something like this, because my brother was only 18 and he was killed the same night he was supposed to come pick me up. Maybe I could have been in the same situation he is. I think about every day what he want me to do or what he want me to change in myself. My father is incarcerated right now, so I also think about things like that, and Mike and Neil, they help me with those type of things. After I met Dream Builders for Equity, kind of changed my life. I feel like I want to step up. When we went on trips, and I wrote fluently about those trips and what I loved and what changed me and what I experienced. A lot of people nowadays talk about what they'll change in a community or what they'll do when they get rich, but you can change it now.
I always start with, how was your week? And it's not always good. Sometimes they have losses. Sometimes they are just faced with not even having food. When my lesson is over and when the camera shut off, the kids still have to go back home. And I can't necessarily save every kid from having to go back home.
They're dealing with so many challenges at home and in the community and negative influences that all in for them is just showing up some days. And if that's what all we can get, Mike and I take that and we use that to say, we want to make you be great.
We just try to see the best things about them and kind of point it out to them, kind of direct them down that path.
We want them to be successful, not just as career professionals, but as people.
So currently, I am an author. I've self-published 4 books. I also have a partnership with a gym called Arch Athletic Center downtown. And inside of that gym, I do own my own personal training business. And then not only that, I also have a couple of investment properties. The most important thing to me is the Dream Builders, what we're building here. I wanted to kind of take a lot of my focus and my energy because it creates the most impact.
So I remember walking into the book signing, and you can tell, just walking in who the founders were. They were like a dynamic duo. And Mike, the same way, a person, I can tell he was athletic. I can tell that he may have played sports at one time, but he was driven. And the community meant a lot to him. Just impressed. I even had an opportunity to speak on a panel that he and his fiance had put together with We Power. And again, about the community and how do we make this place that we live in a better place for our students and for us.
I lead the financial education strategy at U.S. Bank. And really what that means is I develop the strategy for understanding communities, understanding the employees, and understanding our customers, and providing them with the resources they need to be the best possible selves. U.S. Bank is one of the leading investors in low-income communities. U.S. Bank is about helping their employees and promoting their employees to be involved in community efforts and have civic involvement. Just doing the right thing is one of their core values. So when I came to Zach with this idea and this concept of Dream Builders, they've brought out volunteers to help with the projects. They allowed students to come in and interact with some of the senior leaders within the organization.
Neil came to me with the idea. What I thought about it was, A, it was brilliant design, and B, how was he possibly going to be able to pull this off while doing all of the other things that he does and wants to do. One of the things that I love about my friendship with Neil is that he holds all of us in the warmest way accountable and challenges us to be all in. And I think when the invitation from Neil goes out to participate on site at the house, a lot of people say yes because they know exactly, they know it's important because Neil said so.
North Newstead Association is a community development corporation that's been serving North St. Louis City for 25 years. Our primary mission initially was housing production, and at this point we have developed over 130 units of housing, and we actually donated some excess building materials that we had to Neil, which he was very excited about, and we were very excited to be able to make a small impact in what they were doing. The proof is in the pudding. They have been able to, on a shoestring budget, move this organization forward. This is history in the making. There are no other organizations in the St. Louis region that are doing what Dream Builders for Equity is doing at this time.
Hi, my name is Mariah Richardson, and I am a professor, a playwright, and a filmmaker, and now a homeowner. I wanted a place in the center of the city that I could afford that was going to give me the type of feeling where I could be creative and yet feel at home. When Neil told me about the program, I was like, this is great. And I met the kids, and the first time that I met them, I took a picture with them. And because it was just like, these kids are making my house a home.
Dream Builders, since I've started it, I've just been so excited about life, excited about the impact that I'm able to make in the world, and I think my wife really sees that, and she knows how important this is to me. And as I look at my daughter, it even takes it a step further, and I want her to know that her dad did everything possible to create opportunities and create a better world and a better future for her. And we've had challenges at times where we didn't have funds for the students to get paid the next weekend, and a check for $10,000 would show up. When we were at the bottom and we were just scraping the barrel, things happened. Miracles were just happening for us. And that's why we truly believe this is beyond us. It's something greater working in this, and so this is our purpose now. I think God puts us at ease by saying this is His work and not just our work. So just have faith in that. And so sometimes I have to take a step back and just allow Him to work.
I think the students just want an opportunity to tell their own story. I think any narrative that's outside of their own voice, outside of their own words, is something that they reject. So I feel like the paper and the pen is that safe space for the students. It gives them that opportunity to actually just jot down whatever's on their heart without being interrupted, without it being compromised by anybody, and let the public see it. They actually get to be celebrated for it as well.
When they see that they're selling those books to people and the people are excited to get their signatures, it's like, wow, people actually care about me. I see the smile on their face, even though they want to be cool and not show any emotion. I see that emotion come about.
That's why I'm kind of happy, you know. It's a book coming out and I'm in it.
As long as you add value to others and to the community, that value will be added back to you in a monetary way or in a less tangible way.
With the book publishing, the students have 100% ownership of that. With the property, the students have 30% ownership of the property, and they also get paid bi-weekly. They are us, so whenever they win is a win for us. So our whole life is kind of dedicated to how do we create more impact for them.
Mike and Neil, I feel like they're awesome young men. And I feel like they put literally, even when we're not thinking about it, or even when on our off days, they're always putting their all in on it.
Being all in means to just bring all my experiences, all the challenges that I overcame, bring it all to one spot to actually create some impact. Being all in also means that we are a family and a team. So it's not just me, it's a whole group of us that's going to come together and try to create some impact for the community.
Being all in is giving everything that I have back into the community in which I grew up in and giving it back to students who look like me and come from very similar upbringings that I grew up in.
You know, I have to do whatever I can to help him and Mike get whatever they need to sustain this program. So I'm all in, you know, whatever they need.
We just were seeking to make a difference in the lives of these students and to see the community support us, see private and public organizations really say, you know, I love what you're doing. We really appreciate the value that you bring into St. Louis.
I would say this, Neil Richardson has taught me definitely more than I have ever been able to teach him. And he is all in.
Our goal is for this program to one day be handed off to the students. We want to actually be able to employ them and then actually let them have some participation in creating this same ecosystem to become the Mikes and Neils of the future.
Challenge is to continue to find opportunities for the students to get those experiences, continue to raise the funding and the resources for us to do more houses, for more students to have the work and get that sense of fulfillment. Even if you touch one student, you will make a difference in the world and make a difference in their lives. So I want Dream Builders to be an example of what is possible when we invest in people and not just buildings.